All right, let's jump right in. We are cracking open one of the most powerful books on success ever written, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We're going to unpack the core formula he discovered after studying the world's most successful people for over 20 years. So let's start with the big question, the one that really drove Napoleon Hill's entire life's work. I mean, think about it. You can have two people from the same town, maybe even with the same education and opportunities. One of them goes on to build an empire while the other just gets by. What's the real difference maker? It's not luck, and it's not just raw talent.
The answer, Hill found, is actually a formula, a repeatable process that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn and apply. And the starting line for all of it, where every single great fortune begins, is right inside your own head.
So, where do we start? What is that first, absolutely non-negotiable step? It's not just wanting something. Hill calls it a burning desire. This is the true starting point of all achievement. Seriously, without it, you're going nowhere. But with it, the impossible starts to look pretty possible.
Now, to really get what he means by this, Hill tells the perfect story. It's about a guy named Edwin C. Barnes. On the surface, Barnes was nobody special. He had no money, zero connections, no fancy degree. But what he did have was this one thing that completely changed his life.
Barnes's journey is just a masterclass in this idea. See, he had this single, all-consuming thought. He was going to work with Thomas Edison, not for him, but as his business partner. He didn't even have the money for a train ticket, so he literally hopped a freight train to get there. He walked into Edison's office looking, as Edison himself later said, like a tramp, and just flat out declared his intention. Edison, probably intrigued, gave him a low-level job to test him. And for months, Barnes did basic work, but in his mind, he never let go of his real goal. And then, one day, his opportunity showed up, a new invention nobody believed in. Barnes jumped on it, sold it like crazy, and became the exact partner he always knew he would be.
And his story just perfectly illustrates the huge difference between a weak wish and a burning desire, right? A wish is passive. It's, I'd like to be rich someday. It gets totally crushed by the very first obstacle. But a burning desire, that's active. It says, I will become rich. It becomes this obsession that figures out how to get over, around, or just smash right through any obstacle. Barnes didn't wish to be Edison's partner. He was dead set on becoming it.
And it all boils down to this simple truth, which Hill puts so well. The power of your desire is going to directly match the size of your results. A little, tiny wish, you get a little, tiny outcome. But a blazing fire of desire, well, that's what generates real heat, and that's what gets you real results.
Okay, so you've got the burning desire. Awesome. But how do you actually make it happen? Because let's be honest, a goal without a plan is just a daydream. This is where Hill gets super practical and lays out a 6-step blueprint to turn that fire into actual, tangible wealth.
This is the blueprint, and you really can't skip a single step. First, you have to be exact. Don't just say, I want a lot of money. Pick the precise number. Second, decide exactly what you're going to give in return. There's no such thing as something for nothing. Third, you've got to set a definite date, a deadline that you will not miss. Fourth, create a plan, and this part's huge, start immediately. Don't wait. Fifth, write it all down. Put those first 4 points into one clear statement. And finally, number 6, read that statement out loud, twice a day, every day. The key here is you have to see and feel yourself already having the money. This whole process is designed to literally program your subconscious mind to find a way to make it happen.
So you've got the desire, you've got the plan, but what keeps that engine running when you hit a wall? When your first plan completely bombs? When pretty much everyone around you is telling you you're crazy? You need fuel, and that fuel, according to Hill, is persistence. And this is where Hill's idea of persistence gets really interesting. He's not just talking about trying hard. He says it's the sustained effort that actually creates faith. It's the bridge that connects what you do with what you believe is possible. It's all about what you do right after you get knocked down. Think back to Edwin Barnes. He could have easily quit after months of doing menial work. But his persistence, which was fueled by that burning desire, kept him in the game long enough for his opportunity to finally show up.
But persistence has enemies. Hill called them the 6 ghosts of fear. And these are the things inside us that will absolutely kill our drive. The fear of poverty? It makes us too scared to take any real risks. The fear of criticism makes us follow the crowd instead of our own vision. The fear of ill health just drains our energy with worry. The fear of loss of love turns us into people pleasers. And the fears of old age and death, they can paralyze you, making you feel like it's just too late to start.
You have to actively fight these, or they will always, always win.
So we've got desire, a plan, and persistence. But Hill found one more piece to the puzzle, and this one acts like a massive accelerator, a true force multiplier for everything you're doing. He called it the mastermind.
The idea here is simple but profound. No great success is ever achieved alone. A mastermind is an alliance. It's when you bring your knowledge and effort together with other people who are all working in perfect sync towards the same definite goal. Guys like Henry Ford and Andrew Carnegie, they both gave huge credit for their fortunes to the mastermind groups they built.
The math of a mastermind is kind of weird, but it's powerful. 1 + 1 = 3. Why? Because when two minds come together in total harmony, they do more than just add their power. They create something brand new. Hill called it a third mind, this invisible force that gives you ideas and energy that neither person could have come up with on their own. It's synergy, and it creates a power way, way bigger than the sum of its parts.
So there you have it. That's the core formula, distilled from the lives of the most successful people in history. It all starts with a burning desire. You give that desire a shape with a definite plan, you fuel that plan with unwavering persistence, and you accelerate the whole thing with the power of a mastermind.
So now you have the blueprint that has literally built fortunes. The question isn't what's the formula anymore. The question is, what are you going to do with it? So I'll leave you with this. What is the one burning desire, not a wish, a real burning desire that you are going to commit to starting right now?